Well, good morning, travelers. I'm really excited to be coming to you today talking about the first of the keys from the Golden Vault missions. I apologize for the chaos that's behind me here. I'm finally getting to the point where I'm unpacking a lot of my terrain and everything now that I have space to go ahead and put it. So things are kind of still in a state of flux here in my office. But I wanted to get to you because it's been I've wanted to go ahead and get to these episodes for a while, so I'm excited to be cracking into the very first one from Keys from the Golden Vault, and that is the Murkmire Malevolence. So let me go ahead and say up front that one of the things I think Wizards of the Coast does very, very well in these anthologies is that they produce just an absolute incredibly strong first mission. We saw that in Candlekeep. We saw that in Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel. We see it here again in Keys from the Golden Vault. This first mission is fantastic, and it is great also. So I'm not going to be talking too much about kind of my feelings about the mission, other than I'm really excited to run it for a variety of reasons. But the principal reason why is because I think that this is a first mission of a campaign that ports really, really well. So we're going to talk a lot today about the homebrewing ability, or the ways that you can go ahead and homebrew with this mission and bring it into your game. If you're not sure kind of the methodology that I'm going to use to kind of break that down, go check out the rubric video that I posted a couple days ago. I'll kind of explain how I'm going to go through this here. But yeah, other than that, let's go ahead and get through it. So the first thing that kind of struck me about the mission here is that the NPCs themselves are surprisingly modern sounding. And I mean that just kind of in the way that they are presented and the skills that they have. This is largely in archaeological mission, so it kind of has that like Indiana Jonesy kind of bent to it, but I think that from a plot point of view and everything like that, I think that it's going to have a lot of opportunities in games like in Cthulhu inspired games or in Indiana Jones inspired games. Looking at the majority of the games that are like under Modifius right now, like I think bringing this into like Octon Cthulhu or something like that would be fantastic. There are a lot of opportunities in there, and it's because the NPCs are kind of written with like this timeless feel. It's in a fantasy setting, and so there are some things with the NPCs that you would need to tweak to go ahead and make them less fantasy sounding, but for the most part, you're not going to have any problems porting this into a game, into a modern game. I think in particular, Dr. Daniel's character can be stretched in a variety of different directions. As I was reading through the missions from a kind of a homebrewing storyteller point of view, the things that struck me were whether or not Dr. Daniel is actually aware of the truth of the situation, or is she kind of parroting things that she has been told, or conclusions that she's made, but are those conclusions real and are they correct? But more than that, the other opportunity is whether or not she is being truthful. It could be that she is in on this grand conspiracy that's going on in the mission here, and I think that makes for a really interesting is this NPC my friend or my foe sort of aspect to it. It's weird little things that kind of lead me in that direction, but one of the things that drew me to it is that the map that she hands you is written on her university letterhead. So think about the implications of that for just a second. If she is worried about being found out for kind of orchestrating this heist, and she is sort of worried about the implications of what's going to happen in the heist, if the egg winds up hatching and all that sort of stuff, why would she hand deliver a map to a party that she cannot necessarily trust, does not have any built-in trust for, in a way that is so directly recognizable to her? Is there something going on where the Dr. Daniel that we are talking to is not actually Dr. Daniel? Have they been replaced by a shapeshifter or something like that? So there's a lot of opportunities for Dr. Daniel's character in here. You can apply a variety of different things onto that character that really make this mission excellent as an opening mission for a longer campaign. And that's kind of the part that I'm going to keep going back to. I think the other way that you can go ahead and really utilize what's in this is the gala party itself. That is fantastic staging ground to set up Easter eggs for later missions. You can introduce important NPCs there. You can introduce gossip and rumors that happen at that party. There's a whole roll table for gossip and rumors, which is a little light, to be honest. But if you're going to make this the first mission of a longer campaign, you can make that significantly more. You can make the party hear a lot more of what's going on in that party. And then the gala makes a lot more sense than I think it actually makes in this initial mission, right? The gala's kind of a throwaway for right now, just to kind of get the players into role-playing, I think. But if it's going to be the first mission of a longer campaign, all of a sudden that gala makes a ton more sense in terms of your ability to go ahead and pull from what happens there to go ahead and go later. Highly recommend using that as a collaborative world-building type thing. Ask the players to tell you what are things that are happening there, and then don't forget to go ahead and farm that fertile ground. If you want to hear a lot of our collaborative world-building thoughts on this, we actually have a roll table about parties in our collaborative world-building book. You should go check it out on DM's Guild. The other thing that I thought that this mission did really, really well was it talked about creatures which are not traditional D&D traditional D&D creatures, but are based on D&D stat blocks that are in the SRD, right? That's going to be really important for a variety of reasons, but it also imparts a really good skill on homebrewing DMs, right? It says, hey, take the Allosaurus stat block, but instead of this ability, give it a different ability, and now it's a different creature, and here's why it has that. I would, as storytellers, use that as kind of the basis for other decisions that you're going to make. That's a block of information that isn't just going to be applicable to this mission. That, in general, is going to be a way to go ahead and build monsters going forward. So it's really going to have a lot of import and a lot of impact on storytellers that are kind of new to the game, right? Or new to storytelling. If they want to know how to go ahead and tweak custom monsters, this chapter explains it pretty well. So that's going to be a great opportunity there. And let's not forget kind of the 800-pound gorilla in the room. The stone-turned egg with the eldritch horror embedded in it that's going to take over the world if it hatches. That single McGuffin is fabulous. You can pick that and you can use that anywhere you want. It's going to work anywhere. That is, if you want to go ahead and have a campaign built on other stones, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to have a campaign built where the stone is kind of the ultimate goal, again, going back to like the Indiana Jones, like Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of angle, opportunities there. So many opportunities. Know and respect what's in that stone, and you can use that to go ahead and really pump up your campaign. It is a great MacGuffin and easily portable because it is explained very, very well, and its mechanics are very, very well documented. So you can lift and shift that as much as you absolutely want. So let's get into how I rated the mission here. So just a reminder of kind of the criteria that I was using here to go ahead and adjudicate. So I'm going to talk about the mission, I'm going to talk about the NPCs, I'm going to talk about the map, the vault hook itself, and then kind of a wildcard category about other things like the stone, and then give it a total. All of those categories are rated 1 to 4 for a total to be possible of 20. So the first thing here is about the mission itself. Mission got a 4. Fantastic. There's lots of area for hooks. There's lots of, it is a fun mission. It's really, really good. It's highly portable, especially as a first mission of a larger campaign. And its timeless aspects, again, kind of allow you to bring it into whatever kind of 5e based setting for everyday heroes. If you've got a bunch of archaeological, again, kind of like Indiana Jones or Leverage style characters for everyday heroes, yeah, this mission works really, really well. Second thing, talking about the NPCs. Again, really great opportunities with a lot of the NPCs. In particular, Dr. Daniel, I think, gives you a lot of opportunities to go ahead and run with. So, yeah, good on the NPCs. Got a 3 there. On the map, I gave it a 2. If you need a museum, it's fine. And it might be useful later, but by itself, it's kind of run-of-the-mill. Like, there's nothing really excessively great about the map or anything like that. It's kind of a nice stand-in piece. So, nothing really shines. There's nothing really super unusual about it or anything. But if you need a museum map, it will do the trick just fine. On the Golden Vault hook, I thought that the prompt itself was pretty juicy in terms of the way that it sets up what the characters want to do. Again, we're talking about characters that need to be inspired to go chase after an eldritch horror that may go take over the world, and an archaeologist who is scared of the premise that's going to happen here. It sets that up pretty well, and that's a pretty juicy plot hook for this. And lastly, on the wild card, for the stone alone, I was going to go ahead and give it a 4. But I think that other elements like the gala, like the way that it explains the stat block creatures and how to go ahead and tweak them for what you want and everything like that, totally a 4. Lots of things in this mission that are liftable by themselves without being in the mission itself. So fantastic. Which gives the first mission here a total of 16 out of 20. So, yeah. A really great mission and a really great mission for your homebrew campaign. Lots of opportunity to go ahead and pull it and bring it into your campaign as a first mission. So there you go. There you have it. So next week, we're going to be talking about the second mission, the Stygian... Yeah, now I forget. Stygian Gamble, I think, is the name of it. It's the one about the casino, the kind of Hell's Bells casino. So we'll be talking about that soon here. Appreciate this. Love to go ahead and hear your feedback down below. What do you think about my ratings? Do you think that I got it right? What do you think about the Murkmire Malevolence? I think fantastic mission for homebrewing and really a great mission to go ahead and run pretty much as is. So I'd love to go ahead and hear your thoughts. Thanks.